What if you can feel peaceful, on command, with just a story? I'm Rhonda, and in less than 3 minutes, I'll help you unwind, reconnect, and feel calm again, using a method most people never think to try. So now, let's take a deep breath in. Feel it fill you with calm, gentle energy. And as you exhale, allow your body to soften, your thoughts to slow, and your mind to open like a peaceful sky. And now, let your mind relax and listen. The Quiet Path Through Depression. A hypnotic story for anyone who has ever walked through the fog of depression and wondered if the light had truly gone out, or just hidden itself behind the curtains. Her name was Bree, and for a while now, she had lived inside a house that felt dim. Not haunted, not broken, just quiet, too quiet. Like a piano with all the keys intact, but no desire to be played. The house had not always been this way. Once, there had been color. Soft golden light filtering through the gauzy curtains. The smell of cinnamon from long forgotten tea. Music that swelled up from somewhere deep in the walls. It wasn't a grand house, but it had been enough. It had been hers. And then, one day, though Bree couldn't say exactly when, the colors began to fade. Not all at once, just like autumn fades into winter. She would reach for a book and forget why. She'd boil water and let it cool. She'd walk into a room and feel like she wasn't fully in it. People called, text, left voicemails with bright voices saying things like, "You'll feel better soon. Just think positive. Try going for a walk." She would nod, smile sometimes, but their words felt like pebbles on a bottomless well, rippling, but never quite reaching her. Because what Bree wanted wasn't advice. What she wanted was to remember how to want. There was one room in the house that Bree avoided. It had a mirror. A large one, edged with a dusty gold frame. The kind of mirror that had once made her feel beautiful. But now, it only showed the weight in her eyes, the stillness in her mouth, the way she had stopped being in the way she once was. Some mornings she would sit at the window with a cup of tea and watch the light move across the floor. And even then she would wonder, why can't I see the beauty of the sun, but not feel it inside me? Why does the world seem so full of color I can't touch? And yet, she kept watching, as though something inside her remembered how to wait. One rainy afternoon, when the road outside the window had turned to water and shadow, Bree heard a sound she hadn't heard in a long time. Not a voice, not a word, but a pull. It wasn't loud, it wasn't urgent, but it was there. A whisper in her chest, like a distant memory trying to speak. And she found herself walking. Not with purpose, but with permission. She padded through the hallway, past the closed doors and silent furniture. Her fingers brushed the peeling wallpaper, the forgotten picture frames. And she stopped before the mirror. At first, she couldn't look. She just stood there, one breath at a time, heart thudding softly in her ears. Then, slowly, she opened her eyes, and what she saw startled her. Not because she looked broken, but because she didn't. She looked real. Tired, yes. Tender, but whole, in a way she hadn't expected. Her skin hadn't vanished. Her eyes still held stories. And her reflection, though quiet, was still there. She reached out and touched the glass. Cool, solid. And for the first time in a long time, she said something out loud. "I miss me." Not a plea, not a demand, just truth. That night, Bree lit a candle, not because she felt hopeful, but because the flame felt honest. She sat beside it, watching it flicker, and allowed herself to imagine. What if healing wasn't about feeling better, but about feeling at all? What if sadness didn't mean something was broken, but rather something inside her was still trying to speak? The flame danced. The wind howled. The house cracked in its familiar way. And Bree whispered to the shadows, "You can stay if you need to, but I'm staying too, and I'll keep lighting candles until I can see again." In the days that followed, not everything changed. She still had gray mornings, still forgot breakfast, still found herself staring at walls without meaning to. But now, she also wrote things in her notebook, like, "I made tea today. The tree outside has new bulbs. I felt the sun through the window." Small things, almost invisible, but real. And some nights she'd light another candle and sit and say, "I'm still here. I'm not better yet, but I'm not lost." Because sometimes surviving is sacred, and sitting with yourself in the dark is a kind of prayer. And slowly, softly, Bree began to breathe again. One morning she walked past the mirror, and without planning to, she smiled. Just a little, but it reached her eyes. And the mirror, it smiled back. Hypnotic Induction, returning to the light within. Before we begin, take a moment to find a comfortable position. Let your body settle, your breath slow, and your awareness soften, like dust gently falling through a quiet room. Now, if you're ready, you can allow your eyes to close, or simply soften your gaze. Let the outer world blur just a little, and begin to notice the space you're in, the quiet beneath the noise. The way your breath still rises and falls, even if it feels tired, even if it feels faint. You don't need to change anything. Just notice. Let's start by imagining a house. It doesn't have to be clear. It can shimmer at the edges, like a dream you're just beginning to remember. But this house is yours. And in this house, there is a stillness, not emptiness, but a quiet kind of presence, the kind that holds space for what you haven't said yet, the kind that waits for no one, and yet welcomes you completely. With each breath, imagine yourself stepping deeper into this house, past the rooms that feel closed, past the parts of yourself that have gone quiet. You might notice a hallway, soft light spilling across the floor, the air warm and cool at once, like standing in space between memory and a beginning. And somewhere ahead, there is a door. Simple, familiar. You've passed it before, maybe even avoided it. But now, you feel ready. Not because you're forcing yourself, but because something within you wants to look. Gently, curiously. You reach out. The handle is cool, solid, and with a slow breath in and a longer breath out, you open the door. Inside, it's dim, still, but not empty. There is a candle on a small table, and as you step inside, the flame seems to welcome you. You sit before it, and as the flame flickers, you begin to feel a gentle warmth, not just on your skin, but somewhere deeper, in the places that have gone quiet inside you. And the flame says nothing, but it stays. And in that staying, you remember, I don't have to rush. I don't have to fix. I just have to be. And for now, that is enough. With each breath, the flame grows steadier, and you begin to breathe a little bit more freely. Not because the darkness has vanished, but because you are no longer alone in it. You are here, with your breath, with your light, with the quiet, sacred act of simply staying present. And as you rest here, in this soft trance of return, you might say to yourself, gently, truthfully, I am still here. I am not lost. The light never left. It only softened until I was ready to see it again. And when you're ready to return, you can let the image of the house gently dissolve, like mist lifting as the morning comes. Bring your awareness back to your breath, back to the surface beneath you, back to this moment, this space, this now. And know, whenever you need it, the house, the candle, the stillness are waiting with you, in you, always. So the key meanings to the story. Number 1, depression as dimness, not absence. The house symbolizes the self, and the dimming light represents how depression dulls emotional experience, not by erasing it, but by muting its color and sound. The story affirms that the essence of the self remains intact, even when it feels unreachable. Number 2, the loss of desire is a symptom, not an identity. Bree doesn't long for joy, she longs to remember how to want. This illustrates how anhedonia, a core experience in depression, and helps normalize it as a part of the process, not a personal failure. Number 3, the power of micro movements. Her healing doesn't begin with motivation or major change. It begins with noticing, lighting a candle, looking in the mirror, watching sunlight. These small acts represent the somatic return to presence and self-awareness. Number 4, self-compassion over self-correction. Rather than trying to fix herself, Bree sits with her experience. This models non-judgmental awareness, a cornerstone of mindfulness and trauma-informed healing. Healing begins not with force, but with permission. Number 5, survivor is sacred. The story frames being here, despite the fog, is a victory in itself. Surviving is sacred, reflects a psychological truth that simply enduring dark emotional states is an act of profound resilience. Number 6, the mirror as self-acceptance. The mirror doesn't shame her. It reflects her reality with softness. This symbolizes the transition from self-criticism to self-recognition, a major healing milestone in depression recovery. Number 7, rituals and remembering. Lighting candles, journaling tiny wins, and even watching the light all become rituals with re-inhabiting the self. These gentle, repeated acts embody neuroplastic healing. Tiny, safe repetitions that rewire emotional engagement. Number 8, you are not alone in the dark. The candle doesn't solve her pain, but it stays. This speaks to the power of internal anchoring, creating inner consistency, even when internal light fades. Number 9, hope without pressure. There is no grand epiphany, just slow, sacred remembering. The story shows that healing from depression doesn't require perfection, only presence. And once again, you've done beautifully. By simply listening, you've given yourself the gift of stillness, of presence, of healing. And maybe something inside you has shifted, subtly, gently, like a curtain parting to reveal just a little bit more light. If this story brought you peace, clarity, or a moment of rest, know that there's more waiting for you here. I'd love for you to subscribe so you can return whenever you need a soft place to land. So for now, let that feeling stay with you. Let the story echo through the quiet and return anytime you're ready to listen. Until next time, be well.